veto. So let's see which map we're going to be playing on between these two teams. One by one we get banned.
Let's get no, I was going for theme park, but nope. Clubhouse for the third time. All right, this feels like year one all over again.
What's going on?
Back in the Clubhouse meta days where it was just all Clubhouse all the time. So we've seen some different bans on it though, and that's what I want to continue to see. If we're going to see the same map, I want to see some different meta shifts on it in terms of what operators get banned. Tends to shift around a little bit. We have more standard defense bans this last match, and then the match before that we had more interesting defense bans, also more interesting attack bans because we did have the Monty. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good. I mean, it's a good map overall. Like it's just. I hate to see when the Thatcher bans come in. It didn't seem to impede things too much, though, because there was no hard breacher ban on top of that. You know, when it's Thatcher Maverick, that's when it starts to get a little spicier.
Maverick's good, man. Maverick's really good. Please hold me before I start rambling on about how good Maverick is and how underplayed he's been in the past, 1.5 years that he's been in play. But I'll put it aside for as long as I can. I'll hold my inner human from, continuing on. But what do people think about this game? Community vote, of course, you can go and check it out. Twitter.com/ESL Rainbow Six before each and every game. And of course, MVP vote after the game is done. 70% for Rogue, 5% draw, and 25% for Vitality. We've had 5% draw, correct me if I'm wrong, every game today.
Yeah, a lot of teams are, people not expecting those draws, which is honestly pretty understandable. We've gotten one draw in the entirety of the second half so far. For EU, and that was 4's Rogue. So, This is a really good map, though, for Rogue. Rogue have beat G2 on this map twice, and they also drew with BDS, I believe, whereas Vitality have yet to play this during Pro Leagues. So, a little bit of an unknown for Rogue, but at the same time, a map they're great at. Maverick ban, just to spite Milos. Always good to see. Anyone just trying to spite Milos.
Okay. Is this personal?
I hope it's Thatcher now as well, so you don't have to talk about the angle. Oh, never mind.
Ankle grip, boys.
So
we got it.
That's the most consistent one, though. Capitao, I believe, banned all 3 times. Yep, all 3 times now. So really no one wants to deal with Capitao more than anyone else. Goyo, though, this is the second time for him. So some patterns emerging here. We just saw how strong Goyo can be, but also it can be used against you. We saw a little bit of that as well.
So Mira is the last one, so we're still going to have Omai in play. I'm very curious. I know it's sometimes difficult to see the same map being played all night, right? However, and that was a dramatic pause, but however, the 2 games that we saw before this had wildly different ways of playing Clubhouse. And I really want to see what both Vitality and Rogue have to offer on this one, because there have been changes. So there's Wamai that's in for Rogue. They're bringing Alibi as well. I hope that, we won't be seeing Amaru again played on the attacking side when Rogue actually get there. No place to rappel into the building through this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, not... you could rappel into the building through one of the windows if you wanted to, but you're more than likely just going to vault through one of those.
As a reference to Villa, by the way, for people that didn't watch that, make sure to go and watch it later on, because, oh my god, some of the stuff that happened in that Rogue game was crazy. That was last play day, by the way. So, there's the reinforcements all being set up by Rogue here. They're running a usually very squishy lineup. By squishy, I mean there's not much, there's a lot of speed. There's not much armor in the way of these operators here that are being bred out. And it's the big question now. Are they going to put Rise inside of Garage? Are they going to put the Wamai in there? Is the Wamai going to mostly be focused on servers? Going to be focused on that, on the cache side? And it's how you play between the Jaeger and the Wamai. Do you have it where the Jaeger and the Wamai are kind of doubling up and spreading their utility on different sites? Or is it the Wamai only on one side of the map and then the Jaeger in the other? It's just that dynamic I find very interesting. And you have to keep in mind that some items have priority, depending on what you're throwing out into those ADSs or Wamai discs. Wamai discs have a priority in catching them compared to ADSs. There was a post about it a few days ago. It was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, too, Vitality were the ones to ban the Goyo against Rogue. So Rogue adapted by bringing 2 operators with shields as secondary gadgets, and the Wamai being one of those. And so I was thinking Wamai might not get as much play without the Goyo in play, but the fact that Wamai brings his own shield, and then you can bring extra shields on top of it, in this case the alibi of Corey bringing one, it's understandable. You can still take advantage of it. Like you said, you can spread them out a little bit, you can make sure that they get priorities to save the ADSs. A lot of different ways to play those together. Nice spotting with this drone here from Goga. He's going to be playing Thermite, which we haven't really seen a whole lot of today, actually. And he's one of the original frag mice. In fact, I remember that being coined here specifically on Clubhouse when he was fragging out down in church one time. Ooh. Nice play from Aces. Great kill onto Bibu. That's going to start things off. Corey having lost about half his health, but killing Bibu early, really great pick. If they could finish off the stature as well, that'd be great. I'm not sure if he's used all his EMPs, but either him or taking out Stiggy before all the X-Kairos could be used, both of those would be pretty useful. That's some flashes, clear some of those ADSs and Wamai discs. We need a better name for them. Should we just start calling them Frisbees, or is that just too trademarked?
I'm not sure actually, but I don't know. I think it's just the brand, the trademark. I don't know. We'll have to find a better name. We already call them Whammy. Novelty flying disc. That's yeah. Okay, that's the dollar store style.
Oh, good trade on to Aces who got the kill earlier.
Chad, you're gonna need to help us out, see what we call those Wamai discs in the future. That's all on to you. In the meantime, though, Hicks now is trying to hold on to the site. You want to have some utility to deal with that wall, as Corey's been dropped down to the floor thanks to that drone hole. There's some of the drones that have been destroyed as they're trying to walk into the site. And Gogo will finally be able to open up the wall. Should spell disaster there if the caught it, but Hicks will still find Steegy. They're slowing things down. There it is, though. Hungry on to Hicks. And it's a 3v3. One player still down on the floor. That's Corey. The alibi has not been picked up. The angle so perfectly well placed for Rise. Rips will take no damage in the meantime, though. And there's the finisher. He got it. Rise found the 1 kill necessary. And diffuser cannot be set. You have to watch the other angle. Protect your teammate. Mistakes were made.
Well, at the end of the day, the delay works, right? That's what it comes down to, is all the time they were able to burn, plus some of the early picks really just work out in your favor. And it's the name of the game in the 20-second meta, right? But at least, as we've joked about, should be very familiar to Vitality. That being said, that old Vitality, there's only like 2 of those members still here. As Stiggy wasn't really part of the team when they were so much playing that last, very slow round and then fast attack at the end. That was just Bibu and Brede, so maybe not as familiar as they used to be with that meta. So they're going to have to reintroduce Goga, Stiggy, and Hungry to that. We will see a different strategy, of course, because they're going to go down to church this time. So it's down to those electric claws to do a good job holding those hatches. We saw quite a bit of that earlier. There still will be a little bit of shield play with Corey bringing the shield again, but on a different operator, this time Smoke instead of Alibi. So we'll be able to take advantage of that, along with some additional intel from the cameras, along with the goo mines. We might see a little bit of roam and pullback, but overall, very likely to be a bit more of a turtle defense, with just given the operators being chosen on defense.
So there it is. You saw the map history for these 2 teams. Rogue with 7 bans on it. Vitality with 6.
5 seconds left.
And yeah, the biggest mistake in the last round. Vitality had it all. And then Rogue showed up with Rise, rounding the corner of the Jaeger, making no noise pretty much. That's what happens no matter how fast you are. It seems like every operator in the game is trained to crouch walk from one side of the map to the other in one foul swoop. Those are thighs of steel, Devin.
Nothing.
Imagine the glutes.
And crouch watch. Yeah, absolutely. Like they almost need an operator that's just got a kicking power with all these just super.
Oryx, hello.
It's not a kicking power though. He's using his shoulders. That's totally different. He's used to carrying people. That's a different strength.
Well, there's more drones in from Vitality. And Goga just going up to top floor again. This is about delay from Rogue. They're doing something that isn't too special, which is just, hey, we're gonna delay you. We might be able to sacrifice 1 player, and actually, yeah, they're gonna sacrifice 1. That's Rise. The one that won around the last round that we had. Bibu will find 1 kill and being dropped down to around 70 or 65 HP. Might be more coming his way from that bottom floor, but I expect Rogue to now double down on the site as this roam was ineffective. And you have to sacrifice utility for it on that top floor and some reinforcements probably. Now all of these hatches will all be destroyed. You see as the Cloud of Hicks is setting up to maybe push into the lounge. He's on top of blue. And Zofia Bride has not entered that area just yet. He's away though. The Cloud cannot trick these hatches. And it's kind of you're not using the operator for what literally he does.
A little bit of a sloppy defense overall. I mean, this is a site where you could turtle, they don't, and then get nothing out of it, and then don't even properly juggle utility to deny, at least slow down the attack from getting utility or angles opened up. So they really better get some C4 picks or something here to be able to even things up a little bit, or Vitality will be able to win this. I mean, yes, they're starting to dwindle on time. Minute left, but they're already dropping into Moto, flashing down, clearing ADSs, making sure they can push forward. They've got some good intel here on the Hicks in Generator without Hicks really realizing it. With the slash hug style drone up on top of the vents. Oh, nice denial though of the wall from being open. Goga gonna suffer for that one.
Oryx Kairos being used up here to open the wall. It should be Vitality able to walk in. Hicks is playing behind that indestructible black box as the smokes have been used to block out two sides, but it's indestructible, but not if you peek right into it. All three smoke canisters have just been used, and Rogue have lost two of their players. Legion pushing up real close, but Aces loses the gunfight to Stigi. And there's one more from Goga onto Corey. You're planting behind black box. Again, indestructible, and a flawless one from Vitality. All they needed was that early pick, and Rogue just could not handle the onslaught.
That was the slow and steady Vitality push. They won so many gunfights because Rogue overpeaked it, overextended their aggression. You talk about the Invincible Black Box as just a great example. He's in a position where it's very easy for him to stay alive, and rather than stay alive and deny them for pushing to the hole, he peeks, gets his head taken off. You saw the peek in the hallway, gets their head taken off. Every time they're trying to peek against Vitality, they're just losing the gunfight after gunfight when they're already at a man disadvantage, and time hasn't dwindled down very much. Vitality were doing well on time, so just that was a really poor round from Rogue in a lot of aspects, like we talked about as well with the Electric Claw not really being in a good place to slow things down. Yeah, there's a Thatcher, so you're maybe going to be a little less concerned about it, but at the end of the day, Rogue they threw away a lot of advantages they had and continued to snowball down the disadvantages building up. But we'll likely see a different round from them this time. Interesting that Corey's going to be playing the Alibi again, but this time without the shield. They're not going to have a smoke, so they aren't going to have extra little bits of defense there in Church. But I can imagine they're going to play a little more Turtle. They're also going to have the Maestro in play this time. So they're going to use him to get a little bit more visibility on the site, I imagine, without having to stick in all positions of it, so they could turtle up a little more strongly and have the Alda for that extra firing power, if they so choose. And only 2 C4s, though. And they have a lot of impacts instead. We'll see if they impact trick with those.
The Rogue have been one of, if not really the team that brings the Alibi way more commonly than any other. Again, someone can correct me on this, but I've seen Rogue run this operator way more than anybody else. And in this case, I assume that it's to grab those double impacts, though you can bring the Legion if you really want to, instead of just this. So I wonder if it's just to play her off-site a bit, maybe if you want to use those holograms on-site to maybe delay the attackers or cause some sort of disruption. I'm sure there's alternatives. I'm sure that there's a reason behind it, but right now it's just like the Amato in the last game that we had, maybe by someone else. Rise holding the angle. Why? Wait for the drone, Bibu. Wait for the drone.
Rise finally making up for that early death last round. Much better play that time. Well,
that was a pure mistake there. Just wait for the drone and you'll be fine. Why are you getting so aggressive? There's no point.
So many wooden barricades being put up today, I've noticed from a lot of the teams. A lot of them using that as either extra bits of information or just slow down, stuff like that, so they can kind of play a little bit more aggressively, a little bit more extra intel. And in this case, they have also the Evil Eyes and the Black Eyes, which you can see Goga looking for. He wants to know if there's any intel or utility he has to worry about inside Moto because he's not bringing IQ. Something that surprised me, Vitality's just not been bringing. But, you know, I mean, it's worth doing just to make Thatcher much more efficient if he's not being banned anyways sometimes. But they've got a lineup that they want to use, and it's been working somewhat. However, it's only been 2 rounds so far, so we'll see how things go from here. But with losing their buck early, they're not going to really be able to do a lot of destruction on this floor without it costing them quite a bit. So that could slow them down a fair amount on this attack.
So a minute left. And there's everything being opened up. The scary hands of Stiggy's Habana. And with this side of the armory being opened up, because there was no reinforcement, this gives Vitality options. Either they can push into that church area, or they can just, you know, walk into armory. However, this was a conscious decision from Rogue, because they realized that in the last round, he had lost that Legion because he had to walk down the middle of the hallway, because there was a reinforcement at the bottom of the armory. So now you open that up so you can fight against your opponents that are just pushing up and trying to destroy that wall to get into church. It makes sense, but Stiggy will find rips. There's one trade to the other. Rise taking a lot of damage. Lost Bibu before, and there's the walk-in. All planned from Aces. The ACOG was the problem, but 2 players down. Rise will find Stiggy, and it's all onto Hungry now. The fuser's been set. There's the alibi working the magic with the hollows. 1 kill, but not the other. Rise connects onto Hungry, and that's the round done. Lulled into a false sense of security. Your options were your downfall. Maestro is ready.
Great play overall there from Rogue. You had the early peek from Rise doing some good damage. And then you had a lot of denial of the hatches. You saw 2 impact tricks. They took out the Thermite charge first, and then they took out Stiggy's last X-Cairo because he used the other 2 on the dirt tunnel to be able to get in for the flank. That did manage to net him 1 kill before he was traded, but since he wasn't able to do more from that position, and the fact that he lost the other set of X-Kairos, basically making it so they weren't able to open up the kitchen hatch, meant the pressure on dirt tunnel wasn't going to be able to amount to as much. They couldn't catch anyone on the rotate out or seal it off and help out Stiggy. They also couldn't find angles to be able to pressure. Didn't see a good push as well from Blue, and because of all that, Rogue were in a much better position that round. They will be able to bring a little bit more stall here this time on Cash, as they will be bringing the Echo. So, see if this works out. They've got the Maestro along with a bulletproof camera that you see Rise putting up there, so they will have a little bit of extra intel from that as well. So hopefully that will help them be able to at least more safely peak, as we've seen them, you know, over peaking in the past.
No am I yet in this round, as it seems like people have an aversion to us not calling them magnets, and some people have opted to call them metal pancakes, which I actually quite like. Pancakes are
your breakfast dose of iron.
Yeah, literally. But here we are. Rips is bringing out the Echo. The Maestro again to capitalize. There's a couple of positions to run this Maestro. Like you could have him inside of Cache, you could have him inside of Garage. In this case, Rips will actually be playing the Echo inside of Garage. Still, Corey is bringing the alibi, and you saw that it really does disrupt you. It's a whole mind game running the alibi. The holograms, especially in those clutch moments, clutch situations, you have to make split-second decisions, and more often than not, you're going to be firing into those holograms. I'm really curious. I really want to hear more about this from the team itself. So if Rogue are victorious today, it's definitely something that I want to be asking about and checking out.
Well, they will be if they can manage to pull off the kind of play they played the last round, where they're just being a lot smarter about the fights they were taking and not over-aggressing when they couldn't get away with it. They've also got a lot more intel to work with. Fortunately, Rise, once again, the first to fall, as he's trying to play a lot more roam rolls. In this case, that was a great pinch, though, by 2 of the players of Vitality. Bibu has lost a lot of health, but those early kills really do help, especially when Bibu's able to stay alive and not get traded off of it. We'll see what they can do. Oh, unfortunately, Evil Eye does not die. He's failing to even ping that because of the small amount of wood between him. See if this slows them down quite a bit. Finally taking that out.
There you go.
It was going to be useful for trying to shoot X-Kairos off the wall if it was, left unchecked. C4 unfortunately sticks to the ceiling as well.
And there's the EMP used up. The impact trick will not work, unfortunately. It only pops the top X-Kairos, I believe. There's 2 sets of them there being used. So unfortunate there. Vitality will lose a bit of you lose a bit of their utility, but they expended a lot here from Rogue. They lost one evil eye. They lost more, utility that was just thrown out. Nitro cell, impact grenade, all of those. You're not gonna get back anytime soon. And what was that? Corey will peek out, greedy to find Bride. Or to find Bibu, excuse me, and Bibu's just on the floor. You just lost Corey for pretty much nothing, and you're going to be able to pick up another player there. So back at full manpower is Vitality, even though the second wall, the one that usually attack... Oh no, what is that, X-Sky? What is that? What is that monstrosity? Did you see that angle? How is that even possible?
It's definitely funky there. Hopefully you can get through it accurately. And, well, you see the Echo now spotted by Goga, who's been doing a good job with those drones, having them in good flank positions to catch players off guard. So if he can do some work with that to help someone get a kill under the Echo, that can make the late round a lot easier. And trying to make that harder.
What a shot there from Aces, finding the head of Stigi. He's going to rotate back to the eastern stairs, but so slow there on the Thermite. He's going to be able to open, and the kill was found on from Hungry onto Aces. Hicks again finding 2 kills, but Goga will trade. It's a 1v1. Goga's going to have to go and plant right now, but Rips is ready. They're going to go for the gunfight, and the spray! So close, both players. They know where the Echo was. And Goga rushing out. You saw his hands even fully.
You knew exactly where he was at, too, because Goga's the one in that position.
Did you see the Thermite's arms when he was trying to slide through? This is more hilarious than the Raptor legs. Oh, my. Great play. I mean, I have to say, Rogue had it all for them. They played it well in knowing when to rotate the Echo out. But, man, it showed that Vitality had the information. They just didn't know how to capitalize on it.
Well, yeah, they also weren't able to get a lot of in-sight picks from outside angles. Had they been able to get a few more of those, especially if they'd been able to take out the Maestro, I think that could have made a big difference. The attempt at kind of pushing the breach quickly after Goga blew it too was not too ill-founded. They did manage to take out Maestro, but that was a little sloppy of a push, a little bit low on time, and they also didn't have Rise because he died so early, so they were down a man in a 4v5 for a lot of that, but at the end of the day, Bibu was pretty low on health, and Maestro was able to get a couple, so they just barely win it off time. We'll see how it goes for Jim now. But now Rogue have managed to win 2 of their bomb sites. Now, of course, we've talked about this before. This is somewhat of a defender-sided map, especially with Maverick banned here. However, we've seen very attack-sided Clubhouse today and very defense-sided Clubhouse. We had Na'Vi winning all their defenses pretty much, and Fours winning pretty much all their attacks. So it can go either way, really, on this map. But defense does have advantages, especially with the bans the way they are. So it's up to Rogue to continue to play in those, but I'm still seeing a bit of sloppy play from them. They're not seeming as well coordinated as a cohesive team. Maybe not as badly as we saw from Empire in their Clubhouse defense or coastline defenses, but still, especially Rise's early deaths are often not paying off. He's just going to be on the castle this time rather than playing that Roman Jaeger that Corey is now taking up.
There's the walls being opened up. Vitality are trying to waste no time in this. They're bringing the Habana, the Thermite, and the Thatcher to deal with it. They still have the Zofia and the Buck to work things from below. I mean, you have all the utility correctly here for you. Hungry will take a lot of damage in this. Grenade being set. Remind everybody that it's Vitality on a Monday, and everything can happen with Vitality on a Monday.
Certainly can here. They're putting in a good effort regardless. Hungry seeming to struggle a little bit here on this entry as he's already lost half his health. Just to get some control of Garage. We were going to try and help support at some point, but Rise does manage to get the opening kill this time for his team, and he's taking down one of the hard breachers. So that's going to help a little bit. Bibu also following it up on the trade onto Rise, so he's still going to be the first one to fall from Rogue either way.
Well, these angles being held up here by Rogue, they're slowly peeling off. The Vitality have been fairly efficient in just taking them off of their hardpoint positions. Jones going to be coming in here from the bathroom side. Flashes to come in. Burning a utility in the back. Thermite's ready to open up this wall, but you need someone to stun in the back. It's just to pull players back. I don't know if I would use both of those Zofias because there's no bandit, there's no Qaed. Like, it's not super necessary. There's no one that's gonna stun you, but or to, destroy your utility. But still, it's just to be sure that nobody rushes into you or perhaps a C4, as Aces is 1 kill on a Hungry and still coming back to hold on to cash. In the meantime, Vitality's push is completely concentrated on the opposite end of the map from Jacuzzi into Bathroom.
This position from the Maestro of Hicks is so important because very often the attackers take those stairs. In fact, the defender still has them. Very important for cutting off rotates. That gunfight, though, by Corey being lost, not great, but at least Aces with the jump out to trade it, still keeping this in Rogue's favor.
Aces always there to save the day for you. The Rips is being pushed. He's going to try to rotate back into the bedroom, and there's 1 kill for Hicks and 2. The Maestro, every single round, is able to save the day. Whoever is playing Maestro is nabbing 2 kills at the end of each round. How is this even happening?
You could almost say he's a little bit overpowered as an operator with that gun.
No, the operator is different than the gun. The big problem was the ACOG. I heard it.
That must be it, yeah.
And not the 81 rounds and the high rate of fire with no recoil. You're wrong.
That's totally not a debate we've had before.
Man, 4-1 for Rogue.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Really well done. However, it can't be that close to over because we have not had a Corey team kill yet. So they're going to have to get at least one of those in before they end it if they do manage to go up to like 7-2 or something like that. Again, this is Vitality, though, who have not played this map during Pro League, and they're taking a team to it that are quite good at it. So not a surprise to see Rogue ahead here, although some of those were pretty close. So let's see how this gets set up. For their final defense, they've been playing decent on Church altogether. They did have at least 1 loss on it, but not a big deal. I think they could probably pull this off for the 5-1 on the sides, which would be pretty strong. They will still have all the utility they need, but they don't look like they're playing any kind of roam. Looks like typical operator setups. They've done a good job with a lot of the impact denial and things like that, so if they can keep that up, I think this will be, again, difficult for Vitality to get some good map control, really. I'm not seeing them really heavily pressuring blue very effectively, and I think that's something that's costing them. Yeah, the Hail Marys from dirt are okay, but they're not really quite enough.
I'm not sure why, but I've kind of been casting something that happened like 5 seconds ago for everybody watching at home, so
I just took it
work
slow.
on that. Well, that's true, but that's also not the main reason. So hopefully I can actually get that fixed in the meantime. There it is. So let's see how this goes now, Devin. We gotta hope for the best. Again, we're casting and we're 10,000 kilometers away from one another. 6,000 miles.
From the Earth to the moon.
Man, I wish that we were still working in the studio. I have to say, I keep watching like all these old stuff, tweets and whatever memes that we were making when we were all casting in the studio, and I just feel so nostalgic. So for everybody, watching from home that is still going out and, enjoying the sunlight, shame on you. Stay home.
Yeah, that's
the love of God. Honestly. Please, let us be over with this. Thermite's out.
Tricking it. I saw him standing underneath, possibly. Nope, okay. See if any of this downward pressure could start to push players out of position. But at least Bibu's not dead this time on attack early. Goo Mines, though, are at least doing their work slowing things down. Siggy gonna have to be careful because they know he's gonna be in that position now, and if he dies, that's hatches that won't get opened potentially. Although Goga did already use a thermite breach charge on one of them.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So droning now, just to get some idea of what the positioning is like. Players, drone unfortunately doesn't live all that long, just enough to get some intel on the player in a pretty much expected position. But Siggy hoping to get a free angle out of it. There are some really tight angles you could try and do from above. Ooh, you saw a black eye there in a corner as well. Oh, just barely missing those shots here. We know how important Maestro's been. But it's Corey playing it, so he's likely to die before he can do anything impactful.
Hey, he's not playing Alibi. Let's...
Same release practically, though.
Fair enough. Well, not practically, literally. You see the same bait being set up here by Rogue as we saw them doing before. That's why they have this wall open. Usually it's a bad idea, but with Rogue, the way that Aces and Rips play this, and even Corey that can bring up the Maestro whenever needed, man, this can actually do a lot of work. You just got to be sure that it doesn't get abused and, well, used and abused against you. As all the holes here have been opened up, it's Rogue setting up for nitro cells to be thrown into the hallway. One nitro cell will sail, and oh, Hicks.
15 seconds.
Birthday boy is in. He'll find one kill. Potentially, there it is. Onto Stigi. Bibu getting one kill, but you need to hold on to Church. The long angle, though, from Goga and Bibu will net Corey and Hicks. Rise and Rips will try to rotate back on site, but they will find Rise. And the diffuser will go down. Goga, CC, I plant. 4v1 against Rips, Nitro Cell in hand. Rips still has one reinforcement. Chat, it's Pro League. It's Pro League. He still has one reinforcement. Please tell me why. Maybe
I've actually been noticing that happening on a theme park.
Okay, there it is. I mean, in this case, maybe you just wanted to reinforce, like late round reinforce something, but man.
Well, I mean, specifically from Vitality, watching back the Vitality game from last play day at Theme Park versus G2, on their defenses, they often had a player with a reinforcement left in their pocket. So it seems like they'd rather play a little bit more open style than consider reinforcing everything or using every single reinforcement, which, you know, leans a little bit more towards the Latin American style. But as you can see, it's clearly not working out consistently for Vitality. They did, however, win their attack on Church, so that's good. They've won that twice. Fortunately, they have not won any other attacks, so it's kind of a problem. Doesn't matter though. A side switch now. We will see Vitality on the defense. Goga's going to sneak to the Wamai, and they're going to start cash defense rather than Church, which is exactly what Rogue did. So it's kind of funny that both teams doing that. As all the other teams that we saw today play Clubhouse, all of them started Church as their first bomb site. So I guess this match just wants to be different. A lot of barbed wire and cameras coming out from the bulletproof camera, as well as Evil Eyes from Bibu. We'll have the old one shield from Stiggy, but I mean, really, if you're going to be playing with the Mamai, why not bring another shield on him? I mean, another disc on him, because you're not really going to do as much stopping people from taking out barbed wire. So you're going to, I think, contribute overall more to the team's defense by bringing a shield to help with this. But hey, we'll see how it plays out.
5 seconds remaining. Attackers are moving out to locate a
No, Stigi on the setup. There's the reinforcement coming up.
There we go. He's actually they're going to use all of them, unlike last round.
But again, Rogue won 4 rounds playing on the defense, so normally it's a very standard thing. When you see this, it's fine. It's not like we try to explain mistakes with it. It's just
I don't think there's mistakes necessarily. Just not every setup requires every single reinforcement.
So here's Rogue setting up for the walk-in, the Buck pressuring in from the balcony here by Jacuzzi. Are you surprised? No, you're not, I'm sure.
That soft wall is always easy for Buck to help take control of, which is nice. They are going to be droning now, just looking for underneath so they can see. Possibly they might have the classic Zofia goes underneath to help push a lounge wall. They do have the bandit, so it's understandable they'd want to take control of that lounge. Possibly pressure the bandit off. In the meantime, Buck's doing a good job taking control. Corey just getting a little bit of counter pressure, but there's a Wamai disc, a Frisbee. We can take it out, as Goga himself also takes a little bit of damage. So far, Rogue a little bit in control here, but almost halfway through the round, and they've yet to find an actual pick out of it, or get enough map control to start opening things up significantly. They do have the Thermite and the Havana. They have opened up some of the garage. Not sure if they opened up the server wall yet, though.
There's Aces trying to peek around here. You see the Maestro Bibu is set in garage. Be careful, man. These angles are way wider, more difficult than you would imagine. A bit too slow there, bringing the Thatcher in support. But you're at least going to delete those bandit batteries. There's no charges to use here from Rise. I don't think so. I guess all of them were burned. This is a big problem. Look at how many drones Rogue have lost. This is insane. But now they lose 3 players. What? So close to getting a 4th there, as Hungry will find a kill. Stigi with another, and it turns it into a 2v3. I cannot believe that those kills are happening so easily. Rogue are being given free real estate here, as Stigi's last alive. Rise will tag him. He's just traded and brought down on the floor. Rogue, get around. Just like this.
They seem to do a great job knowing exactly where the members of defense were. It makes me think that droning they were doing was really paying off in terms of getting the extra intel, because they're not bringing operators that are giving them any bonus intel. They're just doing a good job droning, communicating, and cutting off rotates. That's the thing, is that top floor has limited rotates. Now, of course, it's not as bad as it used to be, right? You remember old Clubhouse, there was just no rotate up there, and it was a death trap. It was definitely not the same map that it is now in a lot of ways, and because of that. But you really have to be able to capitalize on that, and that's exactly what you saw Rogue do. They did a great job, especially with the Buck, just getting in and getting early control. And then a lot of those picks, we're seeing a lot of the man advantages go to Rogue a lot of times as well, because when they start trading, they're often trading with 2Ks in there, and because of that, they're able to keep man advantage, and it's usually working out in their favor. And then when it comes down to the clutch at the end, they're usually able to collapse. We will again see a lot more barbed wire favored over shields. 3 sets of barbed wire for Vitality. I understand you want to slow down the attack, but I'm thinking one shield still might be a better choice than that much barbed wire. That being said, I don't think any of those operators can bring a shield. I believe you might be able to bring a shield from Valkyrie. I'm trying to remember if you can or not.
I think you still can. Let me check. It's for me, because people asking were like, yeah, you just use nitro all the time. Why would you bring anything else? So I think that you still can do that.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb. The defender has left the area of
Oh,
operation.
nice camera getting thrown up.
Deploying ADM on the other side.
Yes, you can.
Good to know.
I've literally never used shield on a Valkyrie.
Yeah, because
So-
I mean, you understand why you wouldn't most of the
In
time.
my head, it's like, well, does she have anything other than nitro? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something where your gadgets synergize, because of course you can get an idea where someone's at and then hit the C4 on them. We will see them trying to get this gym wall open, of course, is important. The hot tub wall, very important, and unfortunately does not work out for Rise. Loses one of his thermite breach charges already. Going for a second one here, could get tricked by Goga.
Oh, and yeah.
And all right, denied. So Rogue have already lost this round. They're just gonna have to
say
drag
that.
out now.
You say that.
I'm saying that just to be facetious, but it's definitely a possibility.
Jesus. No, I can't even say it. Oh my god. I'm a disappointment, Devin.
True. At least they're able to get some hard walls open here with the X-Kairos. Get some pressure going on Cash. But that means they're not going to have any for any kind of in-between action. They're going to have to go in through the doorway. This means this control here from Aces on this window is very important to help cut off any rotates out of Cash. However, he does exactly the opposite of that. Loses cutting off the rotate out of Cash because he's too busy rotating through the window.
Unfortunate
A
there.
lot more pressure from Buck to help here.
And you're gonna need to put Rise on that flank. It's definitely not the operator to have do that sort of thing. Corey will find 1 kill onto Bride, and it's a pre-fire through the wall from Aces. He's unable to catch the player on the rotation. Maybe too many angles there that being held. 4 players, I believe, were focusing on this cash take. Corey's taking a lot of damage. So, is this around the shoulder? No, it doesn't seem like it. There's a shield in the middle of the bedroom here, and you know that there's a player behind it. Oh, the Jaeger, the pre-fire. Bibu has all the information, and Aces is down. It's a 1-1 trade, and it's a big kill on Aces. This is a player that's been doing a lot of work for the team at 835. You're going to need the utility, but at least the Thatcher is not the end of the world, at least to his own.
It's going to come down to these gunfight peaks being won by Rogue because they're going to be funneled through doorways now. Corey at least winning one of those as a decent start, but he's low on health. He's going to be continuing pressure while they try and push him. It's 15 seconds left, and there goes Thermite.
Big mistake there, but Hicks is going to go for the refrag. Bearing 9 in hand as Hungary will find 1 kill. You know that there's 1 player down inside of... No, it's all falling apart. Rips will find 1 kill. It doesn't matter where he is. He just ran away. Hungary saving the round again off of time. This is Vitality getting the payback off of what Rogue did to them. Last time Hungary tried to win it in that on V1. Goga tried to do it as well. It was all on time. This time, Vitality get it. It's so smart from the Bandit to know, you know what? I just don't need to be here. I'm off. And he zooms his way out.
It just Goga honestly shouldn't have won that gunfight. He got pushed on from behind, somehow flicked around in time, despite the fact that he is a one-armor. He absolutely should have lost that fight, headshot or not. But at the end of the day, he doesn't, and that really helped turn things around. Obviously, the diffuser being far away as well did not help things, but great play by Goga in saving himself for as long as he could. We'll see how things go for their first church defense. They've successfully done what is usually the secondary and third bomb site for most teams. So now down to the primary. Will they play completely turtle? Will they send some people upstairs? We'll have to see. They at least have the mute to deny some intel, and they've got the Legion to give them some of their own. But other than that, it's kind of standard ops. This reminds me of Vitality when we used to see them play like year one ops only for a while. But in this case, they've got the Legion, which is the only slightly newer op.
5 seconds to insertion. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
There's Corey back in here running the buck. One drone lost in this prep phase. Again, keep track of this drone economy. It's all open. There's a player right behind him. They know it, and there's a kill from Corey. There's Stiggy down. Ace is finding Goga. It's a great start. What is this? Are we casting in Latin America right now?
It certainly seems like it, as this has definitely been a round where aggression's certainly being punished on the defense. Stiggy and Goga going off early means some good utility. Lost Goga might have had a C4. Oh, there we go. Another one from Corey onto Brede. This is falling apart very quickly. It seems like Roger may be a little upset about losing that last round. And this technically should be the better bomb site, but obviously it's third bomb site for Vitality for a reason, as they're losing it very quickly. In the first minute, 3 kills and no trades back onto Rogue.
There's Aces. Again, trying to find somebody in the bar. He knows that Vitality now being in this crutch situation, they probably will get more aggressive because you're kind of running out of options. But actually what Vitality is doing is they're getting way more, turtled and set up on the site. Look at that tiny little angle being held by the Jaeger. And Corey can't afford to just move through dirt solo. He can even bring someone behind him, but usually just one is enough. You got grenades to pressure, you got drones to give you info. There's a lot of time left in this round. No matter how you look at it, this is supposed to be a Rogue victory, putting them on match point. Hungry last alive inside a church. He'll find 1 kill. Another one for him. Down to around 27 HP. Around the corner. Still default cam up. Yeah, there it is. See the drone? He doesn't want to destroy it. He's going for the late flank into the kitchen. But the Habana, in the meantime, is just watching and waiting for him. I'm not sure if the drone gave the information, but there's one being ferried downstairs to find him as the Jaeger. There's some marks coming out. Rai's going to go and plant. The Habana's watching from top. This should be an easy win there. Around the corner. He spots the... yeah, there it is. It should be over. There it is. Hicks on to Hungry, and it's Rogue putting themselves on match point. Guaranteed 1 point at the end of the day. Man, Rogue are looking for those 25 points in EU to top the standings.
Well, Rogue are looking good to keep doing that. Unfortunately, there's a reason, I guess, why Vitality didn't play this map, especially against a team like Rogue. This is definitely, I mean, how many teams now do we have to be like, don't take this team to Clubhouse? There's pretty clearly Clubhouse teams, especially when we saw the last 2 matches were both 7-2s. I almost thought this was going to go 7-2, but obviously it can't now. Best can go 7-3 for Rogue. But at the same time, there's clearly one-sided matches here on Clubhouse. There's teams that are just really good at Clubhouse. And seeming like Rogue are one of those teams. Vitality, maybe not so much. They're going to go back to church. They could try cash again, but they lost that, so they're kind of getting boxed into a corner here. Certainly no one's going to try bar, right?
I mean, at this point,
maybe if this is the last round.
Very possible. I mean, one thing that Vitality were really good at stopping, and this is one that I have to put completely on Rogue, is just trying to enter through those reinforced walls. It seems like the timing is definitely not as efficient as we see from other teams. But again, that Maverick ban that Rogue went for comes back to bite them in rounds in the past. here, though, between these 2 rounds on Church, now one after the other. The first one definitely had, like, no impact whatsoever. So I wonder what Vitality try to change, but I assume since it's the last round, Vitality just kind of stick to the site and not go anywhere else.
Yeah, they lost 3 people way too fast last round, so I would think they're going to play a little more Turtle. Only problem is that gives Rogue time as well, so yeah. See how that works out in terms of whether or not they're able to do a whole lot from here, but they are at least impact tricking to stop the kitchen hatch from being opened, and it does succeed. So they burn at least 1 X Cairo. Still got 2 left in pocket here from Hicks. Looks like, though, he's going to take some time to do some droning. See if we can get an idea. He also could try and look to see if there is anyone set up for that impact trick. Try and make sure he reliably is able to get those X Kairos. There we go. Yeah, let Buck do that.
It's Habana opening up the hatches. 1 more X Kairos left, so you can use that inside of the kitchen if you want. Just open up whatever you like. You got Rise, that even if there is some tricking from the cloud, you can still have 1 thermite charge to enter into the Church. Oh, close to a kill there. Goga taking a lot of damage. Down to around 23. You don't want to lose the bandit, specifically that nitro cell. Grenade being thrown down, it won't hit. Not sure if it destroyed anything. But still hitting where it matters. At least you're pulling those players back way into the back of Armory by Greenbox.
Well, doing a job pushing players back, but with 1.5 minutes left and not finding any kills, it's not great. At least Stiggy and Goga both on low health, though. Fortunately, they've used up their grenades, and so they don't have any way to really hit them. Might still have some, have 1 impact lifeline left, but that doesn't do a ton of damage. However,
oh my!
Not finished. Here we go.
Look at that. He just found him through. Perfect hold usage there. I mean, honestly, you're not supposed to be able to hit people through it, but it's still done. You drop in and right in the welcoming arms of Bibu, unfortunately. And there's Aces being forced back on the Thatcher. More dropping inside of Moto, as right now Vitality are focused on pressure from Blue.
Doing a good job delaying as much as possible here and still having as much manpower as they have left, with it being an even 4-4. It's all down to HP and winning gunfights at this point in 30 seconds.
They're walking down, a flashbang in. There's barbed wire right in front. Drone being thrown out? Really? But Hicks is going to be able to gather some info, I guess. Rise taking some damage there, but oh, the wrong moment. Ace is going to be able to save his teammate there, the Buck, but it's going to find 1 kill. This is the time to push. There's 1 kill from Rise, and you know that you... Oh my god, they're going to go and plant. Damage being exchanged. The planter being down on the floor. They need to find him, and Goga will confirm the kill. But Hicks on the refract. Bearing 9 out in hand. Smoke being thrown out. Should be enough here to go for the plant, and Hicks is going to hit it, taking no damage. Watch your flanks in the meantime. Bride will turn it into a 1v1. Down to 30 HP. And he has a shotgun to use as well. The reinforcements not playing in his way. And they should be able to hear here that Bride is coming through Moto. Making so much noise. He's checking every single angle. He doesn't have any sort of information to play with. But the Habana is in the hallway. Bride will have to walk around. And he checks. Oh, the Habana flicks around at the last second. They trade! Rogue got it. It's done. And because it's a trade and diffuser's planted, it means that the attackers win it. I can't even believe the Habana was looking the wrong way at that point. But it's fine. Rogue victorious. A 7-3.
Well, at least the trade system worked out correctly there. And, well,
This time.
That's what matters. Yeah, it was definitely down to really, honestly, some pretty whiffed shots. He just barely got that kill. That's why it ended up being a trade. Hicks, though, really making up for some struggles before. Aces, of course, always doing his job well in terms of top fragging, but Hungry, I think, had a good day overall, and it was good to see from him. I mean, he's had some days that he's looked like maybe not as tight with his team as he sometimes did with Penta, so it's good to see from him just overall. But at the end of the day, it's still a loss, a loss is a loss, and Vitality just can't seem to win on Mondays either, it seems sometimes.
Nope. It seems like the wins sometimes elude you no matter the day, and that it's more about actually playing as a team than just random luck. I know, it's very hard for G2 fans out there to realize this, but it happens. You learn with it over time. Some days, Suwa cooks really well. Some others do very well, but not as good. the effect is a bit different. But a victory here today, Devin, for Rogue 7-3. They seemed like they were ahead the whole time.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they were very much in control. Some sloppy rounds, but overall they were winning so many more gunfights, way more in control of the map control and attack, as well as their defenses. Impressive play from Rogue, and you could see why they were there on the top from just solid play overall.
All right, let's take a look at our interviewee. Rise will be joining us in just a second. So, Devin, I'll see you in a minute. Bonsoir, Rise. How are you feeling tonight?
Hello, I'm doing just fine. How about you?
Well, very good. We finally saw another Rogue victory. You were able to beat BDS in the last play, 2 play days ago. You saw that losing, unfortunately, to Na'Vi the play day after, but recovering against Vitality. You two teams have a lot of history against one another, even if the lineups are different. Does this victory against Vitality feel any different than any other victory that you would have gained?
Well, like you just said, the rosters are completely different than back then. Only 2 members of each team remaining from the old rivalry, but we're still good friends with each other. Hicks, Bile, Bibu, and I are really good friends. So, it feels like it's always difficult to beat the people you like, your friends actually, but it's also esports. So, no matter what, you have to win, right?
Yeah, I think somebody on G2 said it very correctly. Out of the game, you're all very good friends. I think the G2 was playing against Vitality, and they were talking about Goga. Out of the game, we're friends, we're best friends, we love one another. But when we're in game, we're rivals, we have to play is for all the marbles. And that's the respect that you have as competitors and overall in Europe and every region as well.
Definitely.
But you guys ended up going for the Maverick ban. Is there anything specific against your opponents of Vitality, or is it specifically for Clubhouse? Because I've seen the amount of work that a Maverick can do. It looked like it actually slowed you down as well sometimes.
Yeah, sorry about the Maverick ban, but I know that you're a big fan of Maverick. But
I know, he's very good, isn't he, right?
It's very good. Not in my hands, so yeah, I won't talk about it.
Neither is he good in mine, so it happens. I think we're even.
So, I would say that it's a very difficult operator to play. It brings a lot, it brings a lot on Clubhouse, obviously, since it's a map you. Most of the round is gonna be played on the either you're gonna breach or not, the cache walls, the jacuzzi walls, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're just banning it because that's the current meta right now. Maverick kind of has to be banned because it's annoying for the defenders. I think it's a bit too powerful on Clubhouse, and if you, for example, we were starting in defense. If you really want to take full control, full advantage of it, you need to ban Maverick unless you're very comfortable to playing against it, and that's really difficult in the current meta.
Makes a lot of sense. Of course, Echo was in play, and I really want to ask this specifically. How do you know when to pull your Echo away from a site or away from the hard point, just so you can save him for yokai drones to win you the round, or really any player to just run away and win off of time? Because we had it for at least 3 rounds in this matchup on either side.
It depends on are you gonna play against Vitality or not. No, I'm kidding.
Fair enough. Usually they're the ones that are banning the Echo, right?
Honestly, I'm a bit kidding, but at the same time, they took a lot of time to execute at the last moment, and it's just a matter of team feeling. And on the round it happened with Rips, it was I believe Corey who told him, just go down garage and play the denial with the Echo drone. They're all focused on cash and they're wasting time. I think it was like 15 or 20 seconds left, so that was the right call. And anyway, they took the advantage by executing. They're really good at it. Executing at the last moment, and we barely got the win, but
I'm very curious, though, why the alibi then? This will be my last question, because, you know, if it's for impacts, is it for the holograms? Because you can always find another operator to do the work. I'm just very curious to see why the specific op on Corey specifically.
It's actually for both and the shield, because on the strat we are supposed to run Goyo, and well, Goyo was banned, so we needed one more shield to play Cash a bit more aggressive. Playing alibi allows you to have the impacts to do the impact trick for the workshop wall. You have the shield to play aggressive, and at the top of it you have Prisma to just try to get kills and stay aggressive on the good positions. It's really annoying for the attackers, especially when there is 3 ADS in cash. So it's really difficult to deny.
Makes a lot of sense in that case. And of course, with Legion, you have to go away from that, run a bulletproof camera or impact grenade. So you want to get the best of both worlds. So now we understand that pick very specifically. I said last question, but this is the real last question. This is for last week. Why did you play Amaru and Vela?
I don't know. No, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think Curry doesn't even know himself. He was just like, okay guys, I'm gonna run Amaru and I'm gonna rappel down Skylight. Yeah, it's gonna work. It actually worked.
That sounds like something. That sounds like something Corey would say. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Well,
because it looked like. It looks like, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, anybody that plays on a rogue right now, but it looks like Capel just kind of tells people to do stuff, and then he's like, okay, that makes sense. I'll just do it because my coach told me to do it. But it was a Corey decision. Okay, good to clear it, good to get it out of the way. So thank you so much, Valentin. That's it. Anything you'd like to say to all the rogue fans out there? With your victory, you're still number 1, and at 25 points, you're pretty much cleared in the top 2 for this season.
Indeed. And the only thing I want to say, as usual, is to thank the great amount of support we receive every day, despite the bad performances at LAN. We are really trying to fix our issues. It takes a lot of time, but at the end of the day, we are working very hard our asses off. Sorry for the curse, but
bad word.
That's bad word, but that's very deep. So yeah, we are trying. We are doing everything we can. It's not that easy, and those who understand, I really want to thank you because they keep supporting us no matter what, and that means the world to us. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Valentin. We hope to keep seeing you in PL. You're going to be here. Next season will be big for everybody, and this is the time to experiment. This is the season where nobody gets knocked out. This is the season when there's no LAN. This is the season for everybody to sit back, figure out what the problem is, and work on it for the big leagues as we move on with PL. So hope to see you in there. Again, Rogue playing so well. You guys pretty much guarantee yourselves in the top 2. Congratulations again. Rise. We'll see you in the next play day because you guys are playing against, there it is, it's Chaos. All right, so I'm pretty excited for that actually. So we'll see you the next play day. With me, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Good night.